I've been tracking pre-orders of the Switch 2 across the globe, from Western countries to Asia, and there are entire countries sold out. How many? Quite a few, and I'll tell you which ones. I also have a different theory to what other people are saying about who's buying them. I'll talk about that at the end. Rumors suggest Nintendo delayed the Switch 2 to avoid stock running out, that they made more so everyone gets one. If that's true, this isn't like when the PS5 or Switch sold out from lack of stock. Nintendo would have had to make a lot of Switch 2s. The fact that they are already selling out is a big deal. We've already had 7 countries sell out. 7. That includes the UK, Germany, Poland, Malaysia, the Netherlands, and Ireland. And one other country I'll mention separately because that situation is so crazy it deserves its own spot. The UK sold out so fast that stock was gone within minutes, and when they restocked, it happened again. France is having historic levels of sales. In fact, Phoenix said they sold 10,000 units in 12 hours. This was their fastest hardware pre-sale ever. The US and Canada had their pre-orders delayed, watching on while the rest of the world got theirs, and then, when the doors opened, it was chaos. Websites crashing, stock selling out, people at the checkout about to pay for their order and then having it cancelled. People paying for their order and then getting an email saying somehow it failed. People waiting for up to 12 hours or even days just to get a shot, and then some are still waiting. And now we get to that other country that sold out, Japan. They were so worried about the Switch 2 selling out, they did something different. You can't pre-order the Switch 2 in Japan, no. You have to enter a lottery. If you win the lottery, then you can pre-order the Switch 2. That is how crazy the situation has become. When they first opened registrations of interest, before pre-orders even began, the Nintendo Switch eShop crashed for 5 days because there was so much demand. It was so bad, Nintendo offered a public apology, something they rarely ever do. And then, when pre-orders finally opened in Japan, the eShop crashed again. Nintendo reporting over 2.2 million people registered for the lottery in Japan alone, hoping to get a Switch 2. And they've already confirmed they won't have enough stock for everyone at launch. The amount of hype around the Switch 2 is nuts. Analysts are already predicting this could be the fastest selling console of all time. But who's buying them? Are they all Switch 1 owners upgrading? Or is something else going on? What if a lot of pre-orders are from PlayStation, Xbox, or PC users buying a Switch 2 for the first time? Is this just a theory? Well, actually, there's evidence to suggest this might be happening. And for that, I have 2 words. Pro controllers. Switch 1 Pro controllers are compatible with Switch 2, and they're cheaper, so places like Amazon have been selling out or low on stock. Now, I'm thinking, if you already have a Switch 1, you surely already have an original Pro controller. I suspect that people buying these controllers don't own a Switch 1, meaning Nintendo is actually growing their market. And it makes sense. Switch 2 is cheaper than PS5 and Xbox, so to them, it seems like a bargain. A powerful portable console that can play all the same games, plus Nintendo games like Breath of the Wild, which some people feel like they missed out on. Now, the Nintendo president said something very interesting recently about old franchises. I've been watching Nintendo's patents, what they're doing, and listening to rumors, and I think Nintendo might be about to bring back some more old franchises. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. You can also check out my live global pre-order list on my blog, links in the description below.